This is Amiga 3000T Du. She's got the yellow teeth, walrus. Floppy drive button is gone. The floppy drive plastic lens is gone. All of the clips have been broken off, minus the one on the bottom that's molded in. Gotta figure out that. We got one left up here and it's hanging on by a thread. This Amiga 3000T does have intact papers, all three. Not this one, neither one of them did. The key lock is there but was broken off. The wiring for the key lock was broken off. The fan is like this one was in the past. It does not have the feet, so I've taken the feet off, and I'm going to see if the Guru Master Darren can do his magic and make these available for 3D printing on Thingiverse. Hopefully by the time these videos come out, well, this one should be out by now maybe, and this is the next one in the series. So same thing, Amiga 3000T, they're all version 6.1s. Battery hasn't ran 20 years, sat under a desk. So this is in. We're going to get this repaired and functional yet again. So this is from Mr. Jack. So Mr. Jack, hello. Here's your 3000T. We're going to get it sorted. Alright. Top left. Oh, it does have the original tag. Look at that. It was just inside for the disk drive at the top. That's great. Kind of cool. 4 screws to remove. Ooh, look at this. Here's all the busted legs and the floppy button and the plastics for the front case. That's cool. Maybe they can be grafted back on somehow. This is the wire for the key lock. That doesn't exist. Well, it exists, but it's destroyed. This plugs into this crazy harness up here, but I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and remove the floppy cable and its power source. And remove the 4 screws. They're Phillips that hold the drive bay in so we can get a better look at the board. Grab her and just give a tug. That weighs 4 pounds. Fan was unplugged already. Speaker unplugged. Zip tie still intact. It means the motherboard has never been out. I cut the zip tie on mine. Power cord. Chip RAM has been removed. 1 mega chip RAM. Sockets are open. Majority of the screws have been removed. Grab John Holmes here. There's acid damage on the bottom of the case here. I'll show you in a minute. When I get the board out, we can take a look at the case. If you remove the serial cable, it's 157 times easier to get out. Here's your damage. Looks a lot better after the wash down, but the bottom looks like total butts. Here's the original copper for the audio port. Here's the plastic dudes I was telling you about. There's plastic that go over these nubs, just like a standard PC case. That's about that. I'm not taking the power supply out right now, nor the floppy drive. Workbench 3.1 ROMs, 1994 SCOM AG. Sockets are going to have to be replaced because they're green as the bottom of the ocean. Example number 1. Here is a ROM socket. You can't really tell the crustiness, but she's crusty. Get the other one out, we'll take a peek. These 2 sockets, they look like dookie butts. You can see the acid damage on the angle running all the way down when you're recording. It's 11:45 p.m. I got the 2 sockets out. You can see they have acid all over them, so right in the trash they go. In the spot 3000T where the battery leaks. It is right up here, and that looks wonderful. So all these lines that go to the FPU rot. That's fun. I have to bridge them first because they go to these center pins, to these pins over here that you can't even see. It's underneath on this side. So these guys here get bodged to here. And you gotta trace them all out, and they're magic, and that's fun. So usually what I do is I take a photo, blow it up, print it out, and then I go and trace them out, and I mark 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. And then I have something to wire with, and then I flip the paper over, hold it up to the light, and then it matches the diagram here, and I can that's how I did it last time, and that's how I'm going to do it this time. I have to clean all this up. There's acid everywhere, and that's fun. What is this? I don't know. 1:20 a.m. I'm whooped. Again, I printed out the picture. We'll look at it like this. You can see through, and it kind of reverses it when I flip over the board. It's very late. I'm going to go get 3 hours of sleep, and I'll see you all in a couple minutes. Extra tired. Hello from Sunday night. Ubuntu on the screen. I spent the better part of several hours doing this. I don't even know if you can see it. I marked the FPU pins 1 through 10 on the dots here that I could map over here using this with enhanced ISO to show the lines. I don't know how good black and white shows it, but I marked like a 1, 1, 2, 2. The idea is, see, I can see the dots through it. I don't know if you can see that, but I can see through here in upside down land here, and that will be exactly what the board looks like when I flip it over. Now, I did do some tracing. Good God, this thing's a tank. And cleaned up the points as best, come on, I could. And you can see their copper is showing again, but it's all ate up around this side. I cut my finger. It's all ate up around this side as the battery sits right here, and it barfs top and bottom. We broke some lines over here. Blah, blah, blah. Get it fixed. The FPU also looks like somebody took a dump on it in acid. So that's where I left off last night. I still have to clean up the bottom of the board here, which is what I'm getting ready to do now. It too has acid crust all over it, as you can see. Ooh, fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this up, and then I'm going to bodge wire in these 11 fixes that need fixing. Some of them I can probably just drag solder and get back. I don't know when this video is going to come out. You know I film way in advance. Hello, it's 8:27 p.m. and I have spent the better part of many hours with a needle. Yes, a needle? A needle. Like a needle that friggin' big. And rubbing alcohol. Poking holes. Not in, but cleaning the acid out of the holes near the FPU. Now I'm going to hold this big pizza, and I'm going to zoom on in here. Now, this ain't nothing to be proud of, but I'm trying to balance this on my elbow. 3, 4, 5, okay? This is 1, 2, 3, I think 3, 4, and 5. I don't know, somewhere around here. I put wire on the top. I put wire on the bottom. 6, to be precise. Where are you at? La 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 la. Look at that joyous occasion. But you see these holes, like those holes right there? Well, check this out. This is a dill pickle. So, trying to work with a freaking needle, these holes. Whoops. Yep, you get the point. That thing just shot off into I'm gonna step on it the next day. I even had some of these holes, like, it turned into like acid concrete. Here on the other side of the pizza box, where the ROMs go, you can see the wiring right here and right here. This one has a little wire bob going that way. Somewhere, I don't know, it's so tiny. The camera shows it, but there's a dot with a wire and a dot above it. Like right next to each other. That was hard. Yeah. That goes to these traces that go over here, and there's supposed to be one more underneath of that thing, but it doesn't exist. And yeah. It's 8:32 p.m. So it's 8:52, 8:53, and the sockets are in. ROMs are in. Let me clean up this freaking disaster area. You know, when you're busy, you get working, you start working on things. I'm going to save on this because you never know. I'll put that I'll put that right there. Okay, so I'm ready to rock. I put diagram in here. I took those 3 ones and just put them to the side. Because if I have something I want to see the ROM screen of what diagram shows. So I got the power supply hooked up, and I forgot the button. RGB. I am getting a monitor signal. We're getting something. It's beeping. Diagram doesn't require a floppy drive or none of that madness. So Denise, nothing. Paula, nothing. FPU, nothing. CPU, warmish. That's the only chip in the whole company that's warm. But, you know, it doesn't mean anything. Alright, let's turn this off. Okay, well, this machine hadn't been on in 20-something years, so, you know, you didn't want it to work the first time. This show would be too quick. Well, that sucks. I thought really that was it. So, that means that I missed something. And when I said this son of a bee dripped this way, I wasn't kidding you. It's got goop all down here. It's just, and then it just picks up like over here. So there's a bunch of stuff to check. The entire front, where the acid dripped, it's got crap all over 204. I have all these chips. They're just hexam. Ooh, what's that? Nope. I don't know. And this thing is freaking toast. Well, that's greener than the daggone bottom of the ocean. That's my theme. Check this out. So we're looking right here above the crystals. Look at that nice avocado green. So there's just one example, and those guys up there, they kind of got it too. I'll have to just give them a good reflow and just see where they're at. This board actually looks kind of small right here, but then I put my head next to it and it's really big. At least Amber ain't all screwed up. It's 9:16 p.m. I'm going to get back to the drawing board on this probably tomorrow. So day 8 or 9 on this. I still can't get a lick of anything out of it, not even a change in color screen. I do get a sync signal on Amber and on the RGB port. I even second guessed myself, went back through, and a couple of these lines are just weird. It's been a long drawn out endeavor for this. I actually took like 3 or 4 days off and just vegged out playing PlayStation 5 to clear the old noggin a little bit. Hey guys, it's Chris, change of pace. I spent the better part of a while. Sorry, I feel like I'm getting sick. Voice is a little weird. I got the FPU off. Sorry, haven't been feeling good lately. To see the damage that was the battery schmutz underneath of the 3000 tower, you can tell this pin is just hanging on by a thread. The epoxy is lifted. These are just pretty much gone. I'm gonna wick them, and oops. These guys on the bottom are pretty much gone. These are my problem children for bodge wires. Luckily they have vias that are still good. I had to take a needle and poke through them. So what I'm going to do is clean this area up. I just hit it with some contact cleaner flux wash. And I'm going to go through. This stuff's pretty good. If you can find this, it's relatively cheap for what it is. Basically it's like car carburetor cleaner for your electronics. It's safe. It's WD-40 brand. It's not the oil crap. It's like an alcohol. And it dries really quick. There's my phone. So it dries really quick and it's pretty good stuff. I switched my stuff to Celsius. So this is confusing me because I'm used to cranking up the Fahrenheit. And it's like 212, 220 something that chip quick melts at. 227 degrees Fahrenheit. That seems about right, I guess. I don't know. So 300C, I got an FPU here that is very crusty. Some of the pins are actually 8 up. This may still be good. I will have to check later. It looks okay, sorta. 25 megahertz FPU. I heated my iron up and I don't have the right tip on there. Damn it, Jim. Now remember, I'm left-handed, so I will be in your way. I apologize. I'm going to use this wide wick here. I'm going to goober down, wide tip, and I'm just going to braid these off. And now some of these socket slots are literally coming off. There's no corrosion on it, but the majority of them are okay. Alright, so that's the top half. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's decent. I'm sorry about the fan. The corrosion in this area, especially down low in this corner right here, was so bad that I don't know. Just take my time. Lots of flux. Lots of flux. Huh, I wonder if that's why it wasn't working. That pin is gone. I burned through this stuff, man. Burned through it. The braid, not the board. Boy, I'm not too fond of this tip. Let's see what we can see on our pins. So, I'm trying to do my zoom in best I can. My camera is poop, so I adjust the thing. Alright, let's see what we can get here. I had it on automatic. There we go. Look at that. The camera focused. Okay, so this pin is hanging on by a thread. This pin, barely there. These are all joined though, so I don't care. This one is not there, but it is there. There's a sliver. We can work with that. Over here, this pin has separated from the epoxy. It's there, but if I touch it, well, it's sticking. So we're going to leave it alone. It's probably fluxed in. So I'm not going to clean it. All these seem okay. This pin right here has separated from the epoxy. Gadget UK, if you're out there and watching this by any chance, how in the bloody earth do you get, like, you'll de-wick an entire board off this much wick? I go through, like, a ton of it. And that's better. That's looking better than it did before. So now we have a poo-poo thing, and I have these sockets left over, excuse me, from the Amiga 1200 FPU project. Pre-mark it first because I'm not keeping this part in, but I need to mark the one on the side where the arrow is, and we're going to stick one corner down. Just go all out. Well, that's way too much. Sockets in. FPU, how's it looking? Better-ish. There we go. I'm going to do the right thing, and that's just grab a Q-tip and clean it up. And these were so bad under here, and it was underneath the bottom of the chip. I couldn't get it out. I was scrubbing and scrubbing, but it was sitting flat on the board, and I couldn't get to the underside where it was bonded or pseudo solder, and now I'm stickier than anything. So the brush that is brass, just kind of single direction brush these, see if we can get a little bit of shine back in them. Oh, that's cold. Now these had battery acid for a long time. My fingers are turning black from the carbon, the chip, the whatever. Scotch-Brite pads are great. It's a lot better minus this little turd over here. Friday night, we're partying hard with the Amiga 3000T number 2. I have the FPU socketed. I tested it. It did nothing. So I'm going to remove this 74LS174N hex inverter. It was in the battery damaged area. The RTC is also socketed. Doesn't matter at this point. I also did a voltage check on all the caps. They're original caps, but they still got voltage to all of the pins. So I'm not messing with this thing. I'm cutting it out like I always do. I have a brand new replacement right here, and I basically go as high as I can on the chip. Now I can't see what I'm doing. I'm looking in the camera's viewfinder because I am in the way. We will snip it as close as possible. And we'll just go down the line at the top of the chip all the way across. These are very sharp snips and they have a very great point on them. And the reason I'm cutting this out is it is easier to individually remove the pins with heat than it is to try and braid and suck all these off with that chip out of the way. We can see there is some crustiness in that chip hole, chip area, and your pin should come right out. Now the hole's going to be all yucky because the flux is going to reactivate all that acid schmutz. And don't force it out, they should just come right out. Once you melt the solder, it's like just pops right out. Last one. Okay. So here we are clean. Okay. I'm just going to hit some flux on here. And I'm going to go over it with my braid. I'm going to IPA the unit. You can see it looks really bad. That's the flux. Look at that. Look at that mess. Alright. I'm going to take a fiberglass pen. And that will then revive the pins, or the via holes as they're called. As you can see here, they're nice and shiny and exposed again, which led me to another break, and that's a good thing. Look at the green coming out of there. Look at that green. Now, since I'm questionable about this hole, yay, more breaks to fix. Now that is boring work, and that is one section of a massive crustiness. Now, this is all looking okay. There are 4 chips down here that I have to look into. I'm going to replace this one with a socket first. I have it right here. I have the direction. It's facing the direction. I have a socket for it. And I'm going to clean up these traces, do some continuity testing, make sure I got them, bodge them if I need them on the bottom, and repair that little bit. Once I get this area general functional, beeping, maybe it'll fire up. 6:37 Friday night. Hey guys, it's Chris, and it's another day on Mr. Jack's 3000T number 2. I got my order in of my brand new 2022 production Rubicon caps. These are 1647s and the 3522s. The majority of what the board has. I already own the 16470s in Rubicon, or no, Hitachi. They're black, and I have a couple off brands too from various cap kits. Not worried about that. I wanted Rubicons or Shoeis, which are still produced, but super expensive. I figured they lasted 30-something years in here. I could do it again. I'm going to get this done. I'll blip back. It is currently 8 p.m. on the Amiga kit clock, and 8 p.m. on the Boing Ball clock, and 8 p.m. on my computer. Okay, I don't know if this was a joke or just an Easter egg that I found. On a 3000 tower, we have butt capacitors. Hear that? Or they're ball sacks. 10:45 p.m. It's 11:22. I have 10 capacitors. 8:30 a.m. Red everywhere. That means all my caps are done. Hippie, yippee, hooray. Okay, so it's 7:34 p.m. Saturday night. We're replacing U201 74F74PC. It is a dual flip-flop chip on U201. I got it on the Sprint layout viewer. Okay, that one was really crusty. I mean, crusty. Okay, second chip is in. Or, yeah, U201, U204, and U106 have been replaced. The only other acid damaged chip was U710. It's the same exact model chip, 14-pin 74F74C. Flip-flop. That's near the RAM and the power supply. I don't know if it went Denise path or if it went capacitor resistor pack path. I don't know, but the acid went all the way down to the bottom of the board, so this entire center section is culprit of chips. I have not replaced the 7404N yet. I'm trying to hold off on that one. It's right near the gal, which I don't know if I even have any spares of those. I do, but I don't want to start taking chips out of working boards to see if it's these when I just have the chips and I can just put them in. Yeah, let's just hit it again. Nothing. Nothing at all. Oh! Oh! I have a something. I have a single character. One single weird character. I just get burned out. I work on this a little bit. And then I work on it some more, and then I work on it some more, and some more, and some more, and eventually I figured I'd get it. You know. Alright, I'm taking a break. I want to chill out for a little bit. I'll be back, and we'll figure something else out. I'm going to get the oscilloscope out and start probing lines. Yay, fun on a Saturday night. Party hardy.